What's up, guys? Welcome to Scotthollywood Outdoors. I'm down here in the tackle room, so you know what that means. It's time for another tackle talk. Let's go. All right, guys, let's do this. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the tackle shop. Down here with bags and bags and bags and bags of soft plastic. I'm down here trying to get everything organized because it's that time of year, folks. Tournament seasons are right around the corner, and frankly, I'm not really organized right now. So, plus to make matters worse, I don't even have a boat. Don't get worried now. I didn't sell my boat or anything, but the boat's actually down in the shop. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I don't think the boat's been in the shop in probably about 3 years, which means it hasn't had any maintenance, no oil changes, none of that stuff. So yeah, I've been pretty bad with it. But the good thing, you know, the good old low and that Mercury 4-stroke, I tell you what, that thing just runs and purrs like nothing. But there's a few things I'm starting to notice. I got to get the fuel line replaced on it. I got a gauge that's bad on it, a couple little things, and plus, frankly, it just needs probably a new impeller and an oil change. So that's where it's at right now. It's in the shop. So I kind of took everything out of the boat before, you know, obviously before I took it out there, and so I figured now's the best time to come out here and try to organize some stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. So bringing you guys along. And today we're going to talk about some soft plastics, and specifically soft plastics. We're going to be talking about Bizz Baits. Now, if you guys have known me for a little while and watched a lot of my videos, most of my soft plastics that I use are from Bizz Baits. It's a company out of North Carolina. Great guys, a husband and wife deal, and they've been making these beautiful baits for probably about 4 or 5 years now, maybe longer. I'm not 100% sure, but I've been using them for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And this is the year that I finally got a really good relationship with them, and I was able to get a boatload of baits for them at a really good price. They don't really do sponsorships, so I not on them as a sponsorship. I just really like their baits, and they've, you know, like I said, I've known them for a few years now, and I see them every year at the Richmond Fishing Show. And this year they gave me a really good deep discount on some baits, and so I'm pretty much going to switch completely to them now. Between them and actually the Guggen Squad baits, which, you know, I'm also on the, I guess the Team Guggen pro staff or whatever you want to call it with them. So between them two baits, those are pretty much going to be my only soft plastics that I use. And I do have some other stuff mixed in here just because those two companies don't make the baits that I need for other stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm just going to basically kind of go real quick over the Bizz Bait stuff. I promise it won't be a long video. I plan on starting to do a little bit more of these just down here in the tackle shop, kind of showcasing a few baits. I'll probably do one for every one of my sponsors, you know, going forward here over the next month, and kind of get you guys, you know, on board and show you guys what I use. So first thing I guess I should say is, real quick, is how I store my soft plastics. So as you can see, like I said, I've got bags and bags, you know, bags and bags and bags and bags and stuff. So I'm kind of one of those guys that does the old, you know, Ziploc bag deal. Now I've tried, as you can probably see, I mean, down here I've got a bunch of these kind of boxes, which I've kind of gone back and forth with. You know, these are the Plano 3700 deep boxes. I tried to store my stuff that way, and it's good, but the only problem is it gets kind of bulky in the boat, and, you know, it takes up a lot of space. Where, you know, I was using one of these boxes for each type of bait, and as you can see, I can throw a bag. Hell, I can almost put 2 of those in there. So now I still do use these for, like, if I'm going to be in a co-angler situation or something. What I'll do is I'll bring one box like this, and I'll throw it in my big tackle bag, which I don't know if you can see it. It's right up there. And what I'll do is I'll take certain baits out of each one of these bags and throw them in this one box, and this will be just one box that goes into my tackle bag, and that way it keeps all the soft plastics together and you know, good to go there. So a little bit about that. I didn't want to make this, it's not going to be a box versus bag soft plastic kind of video. It's basically just going to be talking about these types of baits. So without further ado, I'm going to put this back. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and talk about Bizz Baits. So my number one go-to bait that started with Bizz Baits, believe it or not, and this is actually the bait that kind of started me on this whole thing, is basically the Dizzy Diamond. So what this bait is, it's a soft plastic, I guess you can call it like a trick worm, a finesse worm type bait, and these things are amazing. So let me go ahead and show you. Actually, I do have some some trick worms here. I can kind of show you the difference between the two. So let me see here. Yeah, so here we go. I still do have them, so don't get me wrong. If I get in a pinch somewhere, I'm still gonna go with the old Zoom trick worm. I mean, this bait flat out catches fish. But there's something about these Dizzy Diamonds from Bizz Baits that just takes it up a notch. And I think the secret is this tail. So look at this little bulbous tail here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the difference. So it's the same thing. It's like a trick worm type bait, but it has this little bulbous tail here. See this little bulbous tail here? When this thing is on a shaky head or even on a Texas rig, and this thing sits down, that little tail right there just goes crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that next to a Zoom trick worm here. Now the trick worm is actually a little longer, which I usually end up biting it off anyway because of the where it is. I'm having a hard time getting in this package here. Come on, buddy, let's go. All right, here we go. So here's a tail for a trick worm. See, it's your standard style, I guess finesse type worm tail. And then next to it, I'm gonna go ahead and show. There's the Bizz Bait tail right there. See the big difference here? This little bulbous thing right here, it just creates such a good action in the water. That's separate from this. They both float, but this Bizz Bait thing is money. And the very first color that I started using on these Bizz Baits was, let me see, I think it was called the Burnt Olive. And if you guys go back and look at some of my older videos, I actually almost won a tournament on that type of bait, on that color, on Lake Anna. I'll go ahead and show that to you here. Which one is it? Oh, burnt olive. Oh, I know I pulled it out. Oh, there it is right there. Actually, no, bruised olive, not burnt olive. So it's kind of like a green pumpkin. It's basically a black front with black flake. I don't know if you guys can see that. Then it's got a green pumpkin with red flake bottom on it. It's got the same bulbous tail. And yeah, I tell you what, on Lake Anna, they were killing this thing. And this bait right here, this particular worm right here, is actually what started my love affair with Bizz Baits, because I was trying to use just a regular Zoom finesse worm. I was trying to use a culprit worm. I was trying to use all different kinds of worms, because it was a finesse. It was the middle of summer, and I couldn't get no bites on it. I threw that burnt olive on there, on that same Bizz Bait worm. We started catching them. One after another. And the funny thing is, I had like 5 or 6 of those worms, and I was fishing it down to the nub, and we ended up, I think, coming in second place or second or third place in that tournament, which from having nothing in the boat to that was amazing. So yeah, so Bizz Baits, it's called the Dizzy Diamond is what it's called. Dizzy Diamond right there. So I went and picked up, as you can see, wow, I got couple packs of the burnt olive, or bruised olive, excuse me. I've got some just plain old black here. I've got some green, standard green pumpkin red. I've got green pumpkin blue. Gotta have that. Of course, like I said, the main black. And this year they started doing something a little special. They're calling it transition packs. What it is it's basically kind of a color in between colors. So say if they're making a green pumpkin and they're making a blue or something like that, they'll go ahead and leave the rubber inside, and it'll come up with a transition color. So this is right here what it's called. It's called a transition pack. Interesting color. This one's almost like a I almost want to say God, I can't even explain what that color is. I don't know if you can see what it is, but it's got like a purple. It's got some green pumpkin mixed in there. Actually, this probably looks like close to a peanut butter and jelly kind of color is what it looks like. And yeah, really cool stuff. So that's it. That's what I've been using for my finesse worm. So that's going to be my arsenal for finesse. As you can see, I've got plenty of packs here. And so if I'm going to be throwing a what do you call it? If I'm going to be throwing a shaky head, that's going to be throwing it on. And as you can see, I even have some older stuff here that doesn't even have bags anymore because I've actually used them all up. But like here's the sprayed grass, same thing. See the tail down there. Typical. This is just a black and blue right there. So I've got a couple leftover bags from last season. And oh, and this year, another thing that they did is now they've got the Mag Dizzy. So these are the bigger ones. So if you guys are if you guys are fans of throwing a big old worm, like, I mean, not quite like this. I mean, of course, this is, anybody you guys remember this, the old Mans, this is like the big old 12-inch Big Mama worm. Yeah, what was this thing called? Big old 12-inch jelly worm. I remember back in Florida, those were the bomb back there. But these are probably about, yeah, they're about 8 inches, 7.5 to 8 inches long. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I bought a couple packs this year. I bought a black pack and a green pumpkin magic. I'll go ahead and throw those around. So that's gonna be my arsenal for my shaky head. Go ahead and put these away, and we'll go ahead and talk about the next bait. Let's throw those up there. Ned rig. So for a Ned rig, this is where my other sponsor is going to come in, or my other thing, and that's going to be the Googan baits. So I went ahead and picked up a bunch of packs of these. I think probably about a month and a half ago. The old Rattling Ned. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about the Googan baits. You know, those folks down at the Googan Squad, they're pumping out some amazing baits. I mean, the Bandito Bug, the Lunker Log, all kinds of good stuff. And so I haven't really used any of those baits. The only baits I've used so far from them, believe it or not, is just for soft plastics anyway, is the Rattling Ned. So this is probably pretty much going to be my go-to, like, little French fry Ned rig actual bait. And I'm going to show you another bait that I use a lot for the Ned rig. And this is something that Bizz Baits does do. And it's called the baby Biz Bug. Now, when I go over the pitching, the flipping baits, I'll go ahead and show you, basically it's the smaller brother of that. And basically, it's kind of almost like a grub. I guess it's about the same size as a grub, but it's basically just a baby version of a little flipping bait. I mean, look at this thing, little tiny thing right here. And this thing on a Ned rig is fire. So I'll usually throw on my Ned rigs, I'll either throw this bait right here, which is, like I said, is it's a Bizz Baits baby Biz Bug. I'll either throw that, I'll throw like I said, the Googan Baits Rattling Ned right here, as you see there. That, and I've been starting to throw these little guys too as well. This is out of the mystery tackle box. I think it's like almost like a little Helgamite looking thing. So that thing is, I had another pack of this, and I caught a bunch of fish on it over in Smith Lake one time. And this thing was amazing. So I've got a couple packs of these. And then the other thing I like to throw on a Ned rig, believe it or not, is basically an old school grub. We've got a bunch of them here. These are all Zoom baits, but just a regular, straight old curly tail grub. Now, you know what kind of turned me on to this for a Ned rig, believe it or not, is my buddy over at Your Next Cast, Titus. He fishes a lot of, grub baits like this in Lake of the Woods on a Ned rig. And I never thought to actually use it on a Ned rig. I used to throw this as a Texas rig. I think I have a video 2 years ago or a year and a half ago where I was down in the Occoquan killing it on a Texas rig grub. But I tell you what, I watched a few of his videos and he was throwing it on a Ned rig. Man, awesome bait. So I've got this in a bunch of colors as well. So for my Ned rig, like I said, that's pretty much going to be it there. It's either going to be a grub like this. It's either going to be, of course, an old school, or I guess not old school, it's new school, but it's basically an old school bait. Just basically a Ned rig bait. This one's got a Rattling Ned rig bait, Rattling version of it. And of course the Bizz Baits baby bait, the Bizz Baits baby bug, right? Is that what it is? Baby Biz Bug, Ned bait, or it's the Bizz Baits baby Biz Bug. So those are my three go-to baits for the Ned rig. And of course, as you can see, Bizz Baits and Googan Baits are kind of in the lead for what I use for as far as brands for that. So let me go ahead and put these away. We'll go ahead and talk about some next stuff fishing. So now let's go ahead and kind of transition medium size or medium finesse, which you guys know that probably the easiest bait ever to catch a bass on is the good old school Gary Yamamoto Senko. This bait has, in my opinion, has revolutionized bass fishing. When this thing came out like 6, 7 years ago, the Wacky Rig, everybody thought I was crazy, but it just flat out catches fish. So in true, Scotthollywood Outdoors fashion, of course, I do have some Gary Yamamoto, of course, Senkos. I've got some Bass Pro Shops one as well, but my go-to, again, keeping with the folks over at Bizz Baits, is, they call them the sassy stick. And again, just the softness of the plastic, the durability of the plastic, and of course, I wish this had smell vision, but they call it Jackum juice, and it's just amazing, this stuff. And there you go, there's a good picture of it right there. Just a good old Senko, nice and greasy and juicy, yum yum. But it smells good. It's really soft. It's durable, a lot more durable than what the Gary Yamamoto's are. So you don't even need to use an O-ring with this, and it's just a great bass fishing catching bait right here. So again, I went ahead and got all the colors I need. You got your green pumpkin. I got my green pumpkin magic. I've got black and blue. I've got some white ones, standard green pumpkin. Even got some Junebug color ones. So there you go, guys. This is what it's going to be using for Bizz Baits. Going to be for my Senko style bait. And like I said, I do have other ones here as well that I'm going to be using, but I'm going to be definitely using a lot more of the Bizz Baits here. And that's it for the old Senko. It's funny, I really don't do a lot of Senko fishing, which you would think I would do a lot, but the only time I really use these is actually in the Potomac. And, down in the summertime in those grass flats there, and fishing that weedless, again, another tournament video. I think that was our tournament video there last year. I think we came in 3rd or 4th with it, and all day just sitting in the same spot, fishing a Senko, weightless. It's kind of monotonous fishing, but it catches fish. And we were there with like 10 other boats in that one little spot there catching fish. So that's it, folks. So right there, Bizz Baits for my Senko. Next we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cover, I've got 2 more types of craws. One set of craws that I use for basically a trailer, and then another one I use for a Texas rig, and then finally our flipping and pitching bait. So let's get right to it. So how many of you guys are familiar with the old school, back in the day, I used to love fishing these things, and I still do. I've caught hundreds and hundreds of fish in a pond. Basically the old Ultra Vibe Speed Crawl. It's just a great, you saw those pond videos I had last year, catching fish on these when I was down in Dothan. This is a good little pond bait right here. You can pitch it, you can fish it weightless, you can fish it with a weight, you can swim it, you can fish it on the top, you can fish it down deep. So for the longest time, these Zoom Speed Crawls have been basically one of my favorite baits. And don't get me wrong, I still love them. But again, I want to go ahead and tell you what Bizz Baits has done. They just kind of took that same bait and they brought it up a notch. So let me go ahead and show you here the difference. Let's see if I can get one of the same color so we can kind of compare. But so the Bizz Baits version of that is called the Cutter Craw. It's a smaller, it's basically a swimming craw is what it is. So I'm going to pull one of these out, and what makes them different is the size of the craw. So here on the right, this is the Bizz Baits Cutter Craw, and this is the Bizz Bait, the Zoom Ultra Vibe Speed Craw. So let's put them together here. So what's the one thing you notice here? The body of the bait is exactly the same, right? But look at the size of those flappers. So as good as this thing was swimming it on the top or swimming it below surface, this thing takes it up a notch. Again, the plastic is soft, durable. It's got the Jackum juice on it. Awesome bait right here. So right there, folks, is what I've switched into. So I'm switching from the Zoom Baits Ultra Vibe Speed Craw to the Bizz Baits Cutter Craw right here. They make all kinds of colors. As you can see here, let me go ahead and show you a couple. I've got them, a whole bag of them here. I've got them in my favorite color, my bruised olive. I've got the standard green pumpkin. I've got green pumpkin magic. Again, that transition pack that I was telling you about with the Dizzy Diamonds. So that's almost like a peanut butter color there. You can probably use on a good peanut butter jig. And you can use this as jig trailers. What else we got here? Of course, my all-time favorite is Junebug. Man, you fishing this down in Florida. And it's funny, I have the same thing here in the Zoom Speed Crawl. So there you go. There's a kind of a look at them side by side there. There's the Bizz Baits, and there's the Zoom Speed Crawl right there. So yeah, awesome. I got them. They even come in white. They've got all kinds of colors here. I got some left over from last year still in here, and that's it. So for my pond fishing stuff, and if I want to, use this, like I say, as a just a little small Texas rig, fishing, like I said, ponds or just swimming a crawl, it's going to be the Bizz Baits Cutter Crawl. Now, next step, standard crawls. Now, standard crawls, I guess the closest thing to this would probably be like, say, maybe a pocket crawl, or I'm trying to think of another one. Pocket crawl, that's a net baits pocket crawl, or maybe a Strike King. I can't remember what their crawl is, but just a standard crawl. I've really never fished crawls before until I started fishing these Bizz Baits crawls. Again, I've caught tournament-specific fish on this particular bait that's, basically helped us win it, like the tournament we won down in the Chickahominy last year. We caught a bunch of fish, but then I caught a kicker fish on a Bizz Baits. This is called the Killer Crawl. So now this is basically just an actual crawl bait. It's bigger than the Cutter Crawl. It's got these real realistic looking pinches on it. And I don't know if you can see it here, but the way the crawl is made here, you see how it's a little thicker right there? It's a little thicker. So when you swim this, say on the back of a chatterbait, or you can put this on the back of a swim bait, these little crawls here really flap. They really give it a good action. And then what's cool about them too is if you're fishing it as a Texas rig, it'll sit down and it'll float, and those crawls will be up ready to, like it's getting ready to attack. So that's it right there, folks. This is the Bizz Baits Killer Crawl. This is going to be my go-to crawl for all basically Texas rigging a crawl, or as a trailer for, like I said, a chatterbait. I'm going to be using these for chatterbaits. I'm going to be using them for swim jigs, and that's going to be it there. Or just like I said, plain Texas rig. And I can show you right here what's really cool about that is they do come in white, and I used a boatload of these last year in plain old white. You can see they come in white right there. So if you got a white swimming jig or a white chatterbait, and you don't want to use like a swimming fluke, you want to give a different type of show for a crawl, go ahead and throw yourself one of these on there. You can dip the tips in chartreuse, and man, I'll tell you what, on a chatterbait on the Potomac in the early summer, money. So that's it, guys. So that's it for the main crawl. And again, same thing. I have numerous colors here. I've got this is a true cinnamon color. This is going to be good for like your black and your peanut butter and jelly, jigs right there. Of course, you got your black and blue for your black and blue jigs, and for your different types of green pumpkins. Actually, this is a nice one here. This is like an Okeechobee crawl where it's got the blue and the green there. See, green pumpkin red for your green pumpkin jigs. Awesome stuff. Of course, I only got 2 left of these. I got to make sure I order some more. Same thing, the bruised olive. Yeah, like I said, black and blue laminate. So that's it. That's going to be Bizz Baits' version of a crawl for trailers or for a Texas rig. Finally, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and talk about pitching and flipping. So, when you guys think of pitching and flipping, everybody thinks of the old school beaver, old school beaver baits, right? Got plenty of, this is the Bass Pro Shops version. I mean, I've got some Berkeley Havoc, Pit Boss type, you know, beaver style baits here. I've got all kinds of different types. I've got some missile baits. I can't remember what they're called, but they're a beaver bait. But again, Bizz Baits has come out with an awesome version of a flipping bait, and it's called the Biz Bug. So what I like about this Biz Bug, it's got a little bit of different, it's got the same, I guess you can call the fat end of it here for like when you're punching. You can go ahead and put a good punching weight on the head of this thing. The type of situation there. Of course, it's got the same thing with the, you can split these crawls apart, and you know, if you're just punching it straight down, you leave the crawls together. If you want a little bit more swimming action, go ahead and pull the claws apart. And you can kind of also use this, believe it or not, because it does look like more of a standard crawl. It's just got this beefier middle section here, you know, soft, durable. You know, you can bite it off, and you can kind of use it as a jig trailer as well. But yeah, just so go ahead and just go online and just type in on YouTube Biz Bug, and they come in a crazy litany of colors. Of course, you got to have your normal, your green pumpkin. I got that. I've got it in, you know, there's my black and blue. I've actually got a bunch of colors here that I didn't use last year, but I'm going to be using this year. This is kind of like a, what is this one called? This is kind of one for like a peanut butter and jelly right there. I know you can't really see it, but for like your lighter colors. And like, especially now, like in the spring, you know, when you're starting to use your oranges and your reds for your crawls. There's another one right here. It's a lighter crawl color there. Of course, they come in, you know, they come in Junebug. You got the Junebug color right there. I got them in black. Of course, green pumpkin. This is I think this is a Texas Craw color. It's black with green laminate here, like that. Got that color. Yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, I got a lot of nice colors, and you can see the difference, kind of the difference between. Let's go ahead and let's kind of head and do a side-by-side comparison here. The difference in, this is a standard. This is actually a Bass Pro Shops beaver style bait. You can see, you know, typical beaver pattern. This is a Biz Bug's. This is a Biz Bug bait. So side by side, you can see the same length, pretty much the width. But you got a lot more options here. This, you basically pull that apart and that's all you got. But with this Biz Bug here, you can pull that apart. It's got the same type of flapping, the thicker crawls here, so you can swim it. It's gonna have a lot more action than a standard beaver. So right here, this is gonna be my go-to flipping bait, Texas rig. And like I said, it's gonna be this, or if I ever get some bandito bugs, but this is gonna be my flipping bait of choice. And with that, folks, I think that's about it. Like I said, I hope this video didn't go too long. It probably did, which is always seems to happen when I do videos, but you know what? I know you guys like seeing me. So that's about it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything put away here. Just gonna go over real quick, just real fast, just to recap real quick for the shaky head stuff and finesse fishing. We're gonna be using the Bizz Baits Dizzy Diamond right there. So make sure you go ahead and go on to bizzbaits.com and check them out for that. For Ned rigs and stuff like that, we're going to be using either two baits. It's going to be the Bizz Baits Baby Biz Bug, or the Guggen Baits Rattling Ned. So that's going to be my go-to for the Ned rig. Then for my Senko style baits, so you know, just basically fishing grass, and you know, weightless is going to be the Bizz Baits Sassy Stick, which is, like I said, it's like your Gary Yamamoto Senko, but just Bizz Baits version. The Sassy Stick, so that's going to be for that. And then we're going to go into our, I guess, a finesse crawl, or you can call it like a pond crawl, or a swimming crawl. And that's going to be the Bizz Baits Cutter Crawl. Again, this is like a zoom speed crawl. This is a real good go-to pond bait, or if you want to, you know, put it on the back of a jig or something like that. So that'll be the Cutter Crawl. So go ahead and check that out. And then as far as the standard crawl, which is going to be good for like your chatterbaits and your swim baits, and swim jigs, and of course just a regular jig. It's going to be the Bizz Baits Killer Crawl. This is a true crawl, whereas the the cutter craw is more of a swimming crawl. So you got your cutter craw and you've got your killer craw. So two different types of craws there. And then finally, for your flipping and pitching, we're gonna go ahead and be going ahead and using the Biz Bug, which is basically going to be my go-to choice for for flipping and pitching. And of course, like I mentioned when I was going over it, it does have some crawl action, so you can theoretically just use this for all your crawl needs. Real good versatile bait there. And that's pretty much it, guys. So that's what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of baits. You've got finesse, you got Ned, you've got 3 different types of craws, and you got your sassy stick. Oh, and one other bonus thing I didn't get a chance to go over real quick, but they also make a topwater frog bait. You guys are used to, like I say, a horny toad or a zoom horny toad. Bizz Baits makes something called the Pad Daddy. This is a great little thing. You can put it on the back of a buzz bait, or you can just fish it put a little frog hook on there. It's called a Pad Daddy. And what it does is, what's neat about this bait is it's like a little keel on it. So it's the thing is that it will never flip over. So basically, when you're swimming this thing along, these little legs, of course, got that good little action there, and it's called the Pad Daddy. I'll probably do another video on this in the future when doing some when I do some of my bladed bait stuff. But I want to go ahead and bring that out real quick just to show you it is a Bizz Bait product. It's called the Pad Daddy. And I think that's it, guys. So like I said, I hope this video is not too long. It probably is. Like I said, all my videos seem to run long, but you like seeing his face anyway, right? So I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these little tackle tip, or I'm going to start calling them, tackle talks or whatever you want to do down here in the tackle room. Got lots of more fishing videos coming up here in the real quick future. We've got a bunch of tournaments coming. We got the Big Bass Tours coming up in April. We're going to do that with Bass and Furious. We've got a bunch of YouTube tournaments we're going to do this year. Of course, we got our Battlefield Bass Anglers tournaments, and we're going to be doing a lot more collabs. So stay tuned. More stuff's going to be coming on the channel. I should be getting my boat back here shortly, and we'll start doing some boat videos. And yeah, so please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that little bell icon so that way you know a new video is coming out. And I think that's about it, guys. I appreciate it. Once again, this is Scotthollywood Outdoors, and that's a wrap.